Good morning, everybody. My name is Sean Cummings, and I am the Director of Education here at the Saskatoon Region Association of Realtors. This is a Matrix 7 live webinar, and I'm going to go over basically all the top-level information that you're going to need to be able to navigate yourself through the new system. So before I get started, if you have any questions or anything, just put them in the chat, and I'll try to answer them as I can and as they come in. There may very well be some questions that I cannot answer, and we'll certainly suggest that you contact us at support@saskmls.com. That will generate a ticket, and we will respond to your challenge in the order it was received. So here we go, Matrix 7. Before we dig into this actual new system, I want to point out some self-help features for yourself. So if I go over to our portal, if you click on Realtor Link, you will open up on Realtor Link over here. And if you scroll down, you will see a Matrix 7 link. I strongly recommend that everybody have a click on that, because if you click on it, you're going to see, just scroll down, a number of learning videos, which are also posted on our YouTube channel under a Matrix 7 playlist. There are about 20, 21, 22 learning modules that are on that playlist, and you can probably find a lot of the answers that you're looking for if you watch those learning videos. They're about 4 or 5 minutes in length. Also, I just want you to have a look. If you do go here, click on the Frequently Asked Questions tab, and a number of the questions that we have been receiving all week since this rolled out on the 18th, well, the top 10 are right here, okay? And if you click on each one, you will get answers to all of those questions that are already there. We love your comments. We want to get constructive feedback from members, so certainly feel free to fill in this form and let us know what's working for you, what's not working, and we'll take it from there. So do spend some time looking over that information that's on Realtor Link. The second area of self-help that I want to point everybody to is right back here under Saskatchewan Matrix, which is where we were at. If you go to the Help tab right over here, you click on Help, there is Matrix training guides, and right here I suggest everybody go here and download this Matrix 7 Quick Start Guide. It is a PDF file, so it'll download onto your computer or your smart device, and you can access it anytime, and it will explain to you using screen grabs as well, step by step, the vast majority of the functions that you're looking to incorporate as you begin to familiarize yourself with the new Matrix 7 system. So go over there, Help, click on Matrix Training Guides, make sure you download this. And of course, there are Matrix video tutorials, which are from the manufacturer of the product, which is CoreLogic. So spend some time checking these out, okay? Lots of questions can be answered if you just spend a little bit of time right here under the Help tab, and it will explain to you a significant number of things that you will need to know to be able to navigate through the system. Okay, we would love to be able to help everybody that calls us up, but we are trying to direct everybody who's got a technical issue or a help issue with Matrix 7 to support at saskmls.com. That generates a ticket, and we will respond to those issues as they come in the order they were received. Okay, so great. Let's get into Matrix. As you look at Matrix, it looks a lot like the other Matrix. The layout is relatively similar, right? We've got a bunch of menu tabs at the top, which you're going to be spending some time in. We've got a bunch of different widgets here all over the system as well, which you had on the system before. And most of these widgets, with the exception of the News and Alerts widget, you can move them around, you can sort this the way that you want, you can organize your desktop for whichever is going to be the best fit for yourself. If there are widgets that you don't want to use, you can click the X in the top right hand corner of them, and it's going to park all of the widgets that you don't want to use in this additional widgets box. Okay, so they're out of sight, out of mind, and of course if you want to use them, you can just drag them right back out. Okay, so that was exactly the same on the old system as well. News and alerts, as I said, that can't be moved. Those are news and alerts that come from our association. We send them out province-wide for important information. We've certainly used the news and alerts a significant amount over the last 2 weeks to get people up to date and get people ready for the changeover to Matrix 7, which occurred on Tuesday. So as we look at these different widgets, they have a lot of similarities. We still have my favorite searches, which existed on the old system. You can save things as a favorite search, and you can park a maximum of 10 on this page. And let's see how many I've got. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So I'm maxed out. I'm completely maxed out for my favorite searches. So I may very well have to delete some of these if I want to change some of those around. Where do I do it? Right over here. Okay, if I click on it, I'm just going to get rid of a couple of these guys here that I don't really need, and because I've sort of repeated myself, and I'm just going to hit delete, and they're going to be gone. Okay, so those are gone, and that's how you clean that page up. So you do a maximum of 10 there. You can do boatloads of saved searches on Matrix 7. You can only park 10 here under my favorite searches, but if you go to my Matrix up here, go to your saved searches, that's where every one of them is going to be. Okay, so you're not going to lose any information. You can only park about 10 on this main widget. Okay. As we scroll down, we've got hot sheets, and there's no limit, as my understanding, there's no limit to the number of different hot sheets that you can create for yourself as you use the new system. And hot sheets are really, really great because what we're talking about here is essentially creating a custom search, giving it a specific name, and parking it in the hot sheets widget. You can set something up and forget it. And how the hot sheets function is right over here. There's your hot sheets, and the difference between the old Matrix and the new Matrix was the old Matrix had cross-property and residential, and that was it. Well, now we've got cross-property, residential, farm, lot and land, and multifamily as the default settings. And of course, you can add any other ones that you want. I did a couple yesterday during a training session. So, and really, these hot sheets are all controlled by this drop-down menu right here. Right now, it's set for 7 days, right? You can look at new only this session, last 24 hours today, okay, 3 days, 7 days, or you can create a custom range for yourself. So the hot sheets functions are very, very simple to use. And if you want to create a hot sheet for yourself, it's really very easy. All you have to do is click customize, okay? And we have to click add because we want to create a hot sheet and we're going to have to give it a name. So I'm just going to make a straight up residential hot sheet. And underneath it here, I'm going to give it a name. And so I'll just call it Rosewood. We'll say Rosewood Bungalows. Maybe I just want to have a hot sheet that is going to be Rosewood Bungalows in Saskatoon. I click save now. It says right here, I've added the hot sheet. But right now, it's not completely functioning properly because I have to show Matrix. I have to tell Matrix what to search for Rosewood Bungalow. So I have to make sure this is highlighted, and then I have to click Edit Criteria. And now I build my search. You're all going to have to get used to the search functions that exist here, and we're going to go over those in detail during this webinar. So the first thing I want to do is maybe the change type, right? I want to look just for active listings. Okay, and I want to look for a detached home. Under the old Matrix system, it used to be residential and single-family homes. Well, single-family homes is no longer part of the system. The tool that you're going to use is detached. That's the signifier for a separate house that's not attached to anything else, what we used to call a single-family home. So you'll want to make sure that that's clicked as well. And as we scroll down, I'm just going to pick bungalow. Now, if I look all the way to the bottom here, we've got a lot of different fields that we can use to build our search, but there's no point in going any further unless we tell Matrix where we want to look. So under the old system, we used to have a drop down. You could click Saskatoon that would highlight all of the different areas and sub areas, and you could pick those. And you can still do that for Saskatoon and Regina on the main page. But on this search page here, what you need to do is you need to either click this icon and look for the place you want to look for. I'm just going to hit cancel. In this case, it also will autofill if you type in where you're looking. And you'll see it's autofilling, and there's Saskatoon, so I've clicked on it. And now I want to have the neighborhood. Same rules apply. All the neighborhoods are going to be over here, and I have to pick them and add them to the current selection. Or I can simply just type in Rosewood, and it'll detect it. And now I've clicked on it. So now we've told Matrix for this hot sheet, I want to look for active listings that are detached homes, Saskatoon, Rosewood, and any bungalows which may exist. You can drill down further. You can search by price. You can search, the total number of bedrooms. You customize the search any way that you want. But for the purposes of today's training, that's as far as I want to go for this hot sheet. So at this stage of the game, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to click save, and it is now saved. The hot sheet is customized. If I go back to the home tab, you will see there is the hot sheet, and if there are any Rosewood bungalows that have been listed over the last 7 days, they should show up. So let's have a look. And there aren't any, but if there were some, that's where you would find them. Okay. I have other hot sheets here. I did one for Briarwood in Saskatoon during another training session, and those popped up. So it's really a matter, and by the way, here's the criteria. Whoops, I'm going to have to go back to the home tab. If I want to see the criteria for that specific one, I have to go to customize again. I have to highlight it and then edit the criteria. But you can see how I set that up exactly the same. I was looking for price decreases, new listings, actives, and conditional sales of detached homes in Saskatoon, in Briarwood, and it gave me all of those different kinds of listings. So that's how you set up a hot sheet, and you can set up a hot sheet for any number of things, okay? It's entirely up to you as to how you want to choose to do that, okay? So let's go over to the search box, because you can search by MLS number. It's very important, however, that when you search by MLS number, you can paste it in there, but you're going to need to have the SK prefix as part of the MLS number. You don't want to have a space between SK and the MLS number. You just want to have SK including the MLS number, and that will bring it up for you. You can search by price. You can search by location. Again, clicking the boxes just like we saw before. You can search by neighborhood. And of course, if you're in Saskatoon or Regina, we did keep what was called areas and sub-areas for both cities. The reason that has occurred is because there are multitudes of neighborhoods in both cities, and unless you know the specific geographic boundaries of each one of those neighborhoods, if you were using, for example, the map function, it would be very hard to actually isolate a specific neighborhood. So we managed to port over the old areas and sub-areas for Saskatoon and Regina. Unfortunately, those are not available for the rural areas. That said, I'm going to show you how you can find all the listings that you're looking for in a specific area and exclude major centers using the map function. And once you've done that, then you can save that, and you could call that any number of things. You could call it, in Saskatoon area, we used to have the old area S6 to S9, which would be Martinsville, Warman, and all those areas outside of town. You can save that as a search and have it parked there, okay? So in this case, I could just click on S1 and S2. Actually, I've just clicked on S1, and you can see all of the neighborhoods in S1 have been auto-filled in there. So if I want to just see the active listings in S1, I can just click on it, click search, okay? And it takes me right to the listings, all right? Now, once we're in there, it's entirely up to you as to how you want to continue setting up your search functions, okay? If you're looking for the newest versus the oldest, you can always click on the DOM, which is a signifier for days on market. If you click on it, and it will sort it from newest to oldest, okay? Or from oldest to newest. It's entirely up to you. And while we're here on this page, I want to point out that every one of these things are clickable, okay? And they will sort like the MLS number from the highest MLS number to the lowest MLS number. And you can, there's the highest and there's the lowest. And you can see how the SK prefix is attached to the MLS number. So that's very, very important. Now, one other thing that I want to do, I have just clicked a space. There's a lot of different spaces here. You can add columns to your search functions, okay? Really very, very simple. You can add columns to those search functions and make it simple for yourself. I've had a number of support tickets from members wanting to have a column added to the search that would be, for example, the year that a property was built. Well, it's real simple. All you have to do is click on one of these things. It's going to open up this box, then click Insert Column, and scroll down until you find, or you could, if you know what you're looking for, you can type it in there. Scroll down to see what you're looking for. In this case, I'm looking for year built. So I've got year built. I have to hit Apply. There's year built. And now, to make sure it's a permanent fixture in my search results, what I have to do is go to this little gear cog icon right here, click on it, and click the first one, right? Set current display, sort order, and count per page as my default. So if I click on that, okay, your search defaults have been set, and now the year built is now a permanent fixture. If I click on it, it'll go from oldest to newest and newest to oldest. Okay, simple. That's how you can add different columns in there. So there's a whole bunch of different ones. If you click on it, just click insert column, take a look at all of the different columns that you can incorporate into your search functions. There's lots and lots and lots of them. So don't be afraid to use that, and just make sure that you set it by clicking the cog over here and set this as your current display for the system. And now you've got year built, or whichever one you want in the system now as a permanent fixture. Okay, so that's a little bit about how you want to search those areas and sub areas in Saskatoon and Regina. But what if you want to search for what used to be the areas and sub areas outside of Saskatoon, for example? And I'm just using Saskatoon because I'm familiar with S6 to S9. I don't really know all of the areas and sub areas around Regina and so forth, or Swift Current or North Battleford, but it doesn't matter where you go to do it. It's very, very simple to set this up for yourself to find the listings that you want in those old areas and sub areas by utilizing the map feature. So if I click on search, in this case I'm going to click on residential. I could just click on the map tab right here. Okay, I've already got active and conditional because that's what well, actually, let's quickly go back to the criteria. Make sure you set up your criteria first before you go to the map features, right? So I'm just going to leave active and conditional, and I just want everything, okay? Everything that's available. And right now, I've got 5,000 plus matches province-wide, okay? So maybe in this case, I am going to just leave it as it is, but what I want to do is just go to the map tab. Okay, and here's Saskatoon, and you know, I know our boundaries for our old areas and sub areas. Rosetown was one of the boundaries, I guess, if you will, on the west side, and then over here on the east we go as far as like Lanigan. Lanigan, I believe, was in that. So at any rate, all that you need to do is, you see these icons up here. We've got draw radius, draw rectangle, draw polygon. I'm going to click draw polygon, and all that you have to do is just draw the line wherever you want it to go. All right, Rosetown was included in mine. I'm going to go Outlook, Davidson for the heck of it. Probably isn't in there, but at any rate, you see where we're going with this. I'm creating a big circle around where I want to do my search, okay? And there we go. If I go to the, so look, we've got 149 listings here, 2847 in Saskatoon and so forth. I don't want the Saskatoon listing, so I have to exclude those. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to go back to the criteria tab, and I'm going to pop in the location box, Saskatoon, because I don't want to see Saskatoon. Okay, and this is the very important thing that you need to do, folks, is you have to click not. Okay, because it's telling Matrix to give me everything but not Saskatoon in the results. Once I've got that done, all I have to do is go to the results tab. It's going to show me all of those listings. I'm going to click location, and it's alphabetized them. And you can see as we proceed here, there's quite a lot of listings. So we're going to drill this down a little bit. I'm going to go back to the criteria tab here, and maybe I'm just going to look for bungalows. Okay, let's go back to the results tab, and this should alter things considerably, I would think. And let's move over here. Humboldt, yeah, we're getting there. But what we need to do is just verify that Saskatoon is not in there. Okay, there's Pike Lake, there's Radisson, there's Rosetown, Rosthern, and you can see there is no Saskatoon. So that's how you would create that search for those old areas and sub areas. Now that you've got it done, what you have to do is click save and make a new saved search. Okay, and when you create that new saved search, this is where you'll give it a name, call it old S6 to S9 or whichever your area is, and then you can enable that as a favorite search on your home tab. Click save, and you're done. It's set. Okay, so during some previous trainings this week, I had created some favorite searches. This is the old C6 to C9, which I believe was the Swift Current area. Okay, and there was the map that that we were able to complete on this. So that's how you will be able to exclude the major centers and include those areas that are outside the major centers to get more accuracy in your search strings. Okay, very, very important to learn how to do that. The map search functions are sort of becoming standard on a lot of different applications now. Dealing with real estate, HomeSpotter is a good example. So do try to get used to utilizing that. If you take a few minutes up front, build yourself your search and either, make a hot sheet out of it or make a favorite search. It's there, it's set. You don't have to worry about it. It's done. Okay, so that's one of the ways that you can use that as a workaround. Now, some members have contacted us this week and we're concerned that the today's listing activity features are no longer available with Matrix 7. Well, that's true. They are no longer available with Matrix 7, but if you utilize the Market Watch widget and customize that for yourself, you can utilize this in lieu of my favorite search. Now, right now, it's set up for residential over the last 24 hours or today or 3 days or 7 days. I'll hit 3 days. You can see those numbers change. This is set up for the province, right? It's going to show me everything in the province because there's, the new listings. That could be your today's listing activity one right there. What you need to do in this case, just like with the hot sheets, is you're going to want to customize your Market Watch for your specific area. So if you want to have a Market Watch set up for, let's just say, for example, North Battleford. Okay, well, I'm going to type it in here. There's North Battleford. Okay, maybe I'll also type in Battleford as well. All right. So now Matrix knows that we want to have a Market Watch for residential, or for a Market Watch for this specific area here. Now I have to tell it what I'm looking for. So we have to look at the subtypes over here: acreage, apartments, attached, detached, and mobile. You can click every single one if you like. Hold down the control button. All right. You could search for condominiums in this as well. Leasehold and freehold ones. You could select as well bare land if you want. You can select all of the building types that you like. You can select any of the styles. I'm going to pick all these guys over here just so that we can get as many different things in our Market Watch as humanly possible. So it just takes a couple of minutes to set this up. And again, I'm holding down the control button while I'm adding these. Okay, just like that. And so I've got North Battleford, Battleford. This is what I'm looking for. Building types, you can include those as well. Hold down the control button and just fill in the blanks. Okay, I'm going to fill in a few of them here. You can set it up by price if you want for today's listing activity. You can set it up by the number of bathrooms or bedrooms. It's entirely up to you as to how you want to do that. But what you have to do is you have to save it. Okay. Once it's saved, it says Market Watch has been customized. And now that Market Watch is customized, I can go back to the main page here. There's my Market Watch. It's not showing anything in North Battleford, which I had set it up for residential over 3 days. Let's look over 7 days. Not getting much that's going on over there. Let's take a look. We can take a look at farm. There we go. So we've got some new listings over the last 7 days for farm in those specific areas. Okay, so it's entirely up to you as to how you want to set this up for yourself. Your Market Watch widget is your Market Watch widget. And again, you can set up today's listing activity for yourself as a hot sheet. That's what's so great about Matrix 7 is it's very, very user-friendly and customizable. So you choose how you want to utilize this, all right? I'm going to proceed forward here with a couple of other widgets. We've got recent use contacts, same as what was on the old system. We've got recent portal visitors, people who visited your portal. It's going to show up on the main page, but this is what you're going to like a heck of a lot now. All right. I want to show everybody what, if I go under My Matrix, which is your administrative tab, all right, we've got summary, contacts, my listings, my information, my CMAs, and so forth. I'm going to click on auto emails because I want you folks to see the new client portal. So I'm going to click open in portal, and this is what the client is now going to see at their end when you set up an auto email and they're invited to your portal. Okay, how cool is this? This is a really great layout that is much more modern than the old Netscape 1.0 circa MySpace layout that was on the old Matrix system. So we've got Saskatoon here. I'm going to zoom in because the client can zoom in. This is the client view. And every time I zoom in, by the way, it adjusts here because it's very, very interactive. It adjusts the listings based on what I'm looking at, right? So I'm just scrolling in, scrolling in, scrolling in. So I want to look in this area right here. Say I'm really interested in this specific area in Greystone Heights, right? Here's all the listings that are there, but watch this, the map tools function. I have this thing called points of interest. And if I click on this, I can find all of the amenities that are around my house. Look at them popping up as I click on them. All right, these are important things for homeowners because they want to know what's around the neighborhood that they're looking at buying a house. So they're able to do that. Make sure that you explain to them that they're able to do that now, right? That's a fantastic new feature for your clients. Other features as well, there are attention grabbers built into the layout here, which is really, really nice, from price reduced to just listed or new listings and so forth. But something else that's really, really neat, let's just take a look at this one on Kirk Crescent. If I go there and scroll down right here, look at this. I can add a note, and they can contact you through this. Before, you would just have something showing up on the main page there on your dashboard, signifying that they might like a property or they're kind of interested in a property. Well, now they can message you and send all that stuff directly to your smartphone, and I'll show you how. All right, what you're going to need to do is back under My Matrix, you're going to go down to the Settings button. Click on that and scroll all the way to the bottom of the page, you're going to see portal notification settings. And this is where you're going to set up when a contact does this, visits a portal, saves a favorite, removes a favorite, saves a possibility, removes a possibility, discards a listing, undiscards a listing, adds notes, all these things. They can notify you immediately by email, immediately by text, or you can get a daily summary by email, or you can get all three. Okay, so maybe I'm just going to set this up here to do it. Just click on the boxes that you want to get. Maybe you just want to deal with everything via text message. Well, the next step for you, once you've clicked off how you want to receive this information, pop in your phone number here, and then you'll have to pop in your cell provider, but first you have to click here to edit your cellular information. So pop in your phone number, and then there's the drop-down menu. Pick your cell phone provider, and then send me a verification code. Once you click send me a verification code, within about 2 seconds, that code is going to show up on your smartphone. Okay, and then you'll just pop it in here and set save, and now Matrix knows to make sure that your portal stuff is being sent to you via email or text, or you can, whichever way you want to have it. So that's a really great way to help you benefit from all of these different features that are here as well. And of course, your client's view, My Agent, little bit of, there's a picture, you can have your bio and stuff in there, and there's a record of the messages that they've sent and any favorites they may have and so forth. It's entirely, there you go, favorites, possibilities, discarded. This is the client's view. And by the way, how good looking is that new banner? Well, there are new banners now in the Matrix system, okay, and I'll show you how to access that. You want to click on My Matrix, and let's just go to My Information. Make sure you put all the information that you require in here. If it's not there, click on the header and footer tab, and look at that. We now have got that banner, and I can select a different banner. And here's some of the old ones are in here, but there's some really nice looking new ones, okay, which are really fantastic. So maybe I like this one over here. If I click on it, scroll down, and I'm going to click on Preview. Now it's showing me what I've got. That's what the banner is going to look like, right? And don't forget about the branding thing here. If you want to have like your cell number show up in there, click on it, it auto-fills it, right? Any of those things that you want to use. You can set up a footer for yourself. It's entirely up to you. And of course, you're going to want to save the banner for yourself that you're going to want to utilize, okay? And then once that's all done, there's a CMA cover sheet which you can set up, email signature, and your portal profile. This is an important tab because this is where you will, you can upload your photo. There's the portal greeting where you can alter the portal greeting that your clients get. Make sure that any portal greeting that you put out there is CASL compliant so that your clients are aware that they can unsubscribe to this stuff that you're sending them. We don't want anybody getting nailed for spamming anybody. And of course, this is a new feature right here is video. If you click on that, maybe you want to create like a welcome video for your clients and then have that included in the welcome to my portal auto email that they're going to get. Do it. Put it on YouTube, and then click the little share button, and then copy the web address, the URL for it, and just paste it in here. It'll automatically detect it. You'll have it in there, and that's going to go out with your auto emails. And my recommendation is when you build this thing, make it personable, and give these people a sense of who you are as a realtor and what it's like to do business with you. Okay, because this is a really great way to connect with people. We know statistically speaking, people's online habits are migrating away from reading things and towards video. Okay, video is driving a lot of change, and so obviously it's nice that this is incorporated into the new system. Of course, contact information over here is where you can make some changes to whatever you want. You can add that, and those things can appear with your all of your information on your CMA and everything else, and including your header and footer. So that's where you're going to set that stuff up. Okay, so let's go back to, let's take a look at some actual listings, and I want to show you some of the changes which have occurred there. Okay, I'm going to click on this favorite search that I had for Eastside in Saskatoon. And maybe I'm just going to click on this one here, just randomly. Okay, as we look at this, this is relatively similar to what we had before, but there are some new features. Okay, we've got, just hover over it, you can see there's view photos. You can view the property on a map, but the property history information is now incorporated into here. We just click on the icon, and we can see what's been happening with that property in the past, okay? Web Forms integration is also here. If you click on that, you got right taken to Web Forms, and I'm just going to close that. And of course, right over here, we've got View Super Keybox settings. And the newest thing we're getting a lot here is very popular with members is this little hazard button. There's one at the bottom, or one at the top and one at the bottom. And what this is, if you click on it, it is the listing infraction feature, where you can point out any concerns with respect to a listing. You can type in your concerns, click submit, and it gets sent to our MLS department where we can address that specific issue. So that's a feature that's being used all the time now. Okay, so that's a little bit about some of the stuff that you're seeing with the search function. Is of course, if we go back to the criteria tab, you can see how I set that all up. Okay. As we continue along here, let's take a look at some of the other features here. There's the input tab. This is where you're going to input your listings. And this looks a lot similar to what was out there before. Now, before I go into the inputting and so forth, this is not a remote load training session. I am not the remote load guy. We have a membership coordinator that does that, but I want to show everybody where everything is. And I want to draw everybody's attention to a message that we put out on Matrix yesterday because we were getting a lot of questions about how to find and modify a listing here. So do draw some attention to that because it will explain, and we've got a learning video there for you as well. Okay, so if we go to the input tab, here we go. If I want to add a new listing, just click on it. In this case, I'm going to go residential, and I can start with a blank listing. Okay, fill in the blanks. Contract, sale, data 1, data 2, the rooms, the remarks, okay, board data, and you can, there's the matrix test feature as well. This flag will ensure that test data is not exposed to non-staff administrators. Yeah. We're not going to worry too much about that right now, but you can validate this here. Okay, the validate function, when you click on it, should validate to make sure that nothing's really missing. And over here, it says save as incomplete. Now, under the old system, it used to say save to your work area. That's not available anymore with Matrix 7. What this does is it saves it as incomplete on the account holder's account. Okay, so that's, you're not going to lose any information if you have to save something to go and deal with a client or whatever, or answer the phone. Just make sure you save it as incomplete, and that's where it's going to be. So that's all going to be useful for you as well. If we go back to the My Matrix tab over here, let's take a look. Here's where all of your contacts are parked. This is exactly the same as what it was before. And this is where if you want to add a contact, you have to click add and fill in the blanks. Don't forget to determine what category they are, and you can customize that. I'm just going to click cancel. And actually, you can also export or import a mailing list, okay? Just as long as they're CSV files, if you export it, it'll export your existing mailing list, all the people that you do auto emails and so forth to, and that will download onto your computer as a CSV file. So that's a feature that's available with Matrix 7, okay? My listings, I don't have any, but that's pretty self-explanatory. My information, we went through that. My CMAs, if you have any CMAs, it's going to park them here. And if you want to create a new CMA, you can start doing one here, or you can start doing CMAs right from the search function. So I'm just going to go back over here to this one that I had on a saved search. But if we go down to the bottom here, I could start to select some listings and start to create a CMA. So I could add these to a CMA right here, or this is a new feature, I can create a quick CMA based on what I clicked. So I'm just going to click, I'm going to click a few more. There we go. Excellent. And if I just click quick CMA, watch this. How cool is that? Super duper fast, branded to you. It's got your banner on there and everything else, and you know, it's useful information that hopefully you're going to be able to share with your clients. You can download this as a PDF. It's entirely up to you as to what you want to do. So there's a lot of stuff on here that are new features. We want everybody to sort of get used to them, and you know, over time you will get used to them. There's not a lot of changes, but some of the changes are significant, and we wanted to make sure everybody was up to speed with that. So we've talked CMAs, we've got your saved searches. All of the searches that you've created are going to be here beyond the 10, like your 10 that you have on your favorite searches are there, but also any more beyond that 10 will be there as well, okay? Any of your sent emails will be here, okay? Obviously the auto emails are there, and that's where you can administer those auto emails. If I want to deal with that, I can delete auto emails. I can go into the settings and amend them. There's the criteria, results, date since, market update, all this good stuff. It's not much different from what we had before with the auto email features. And of course, if you want to manage your portal, takes you right back to where we were before. And of course, there's the settings for Matrix, okay? So that's very, very useful. Let's talk as well about searching for some other things. And I'm hoping not too much all over the map this morning. There's so many things to cover off with Matrix 7 that I simply can't cover every single solitary thing in a 45-minute webinar. But I'm trying to cover as many as I can. Let's go to the search. Let's say you want to search for acreages, okay? Well, to access an acreage search, you actually have to go into the residential tab. Okay, because that's what you need to start with. And I'm going to look for actives and conditionals. And right here, just click the subtype as acreages, right? If I scroll down, there's 879 matches province-wide that are acreages. Well, I have to determine where I want to conduct that search for those acreages. So I can simply go over here to, I could use the map search function, okay, and select a specific area, or I can go into the location bar here, and I'm just going to type, I'm going to pick some of these guys off, and I can hold down control while I'm doing this. Boom, boom. I'll just pick a few of them as we go through it. The ones that I know that are you know, within the area that I'm familiar with around Saskatoon. I'm going to put in Borden, see if there's anything around there. I'll add that. See, so just make sure you add these guys over here. Boom. I'm gonna put in Saskatoon. There's Saskatoon. Maybe I'm gonna put, and I'll just put add. Maybe I'll go Corman Park. I'll click add. So I'm gonna click OK. I've got actives, conditionals, looking for acreages in these areas. If I scroll down, I've got 63 results. I can go right to the results tab, and there's how I find my acreages, just like that. Really, really simple, okay? Let's go and take a look at how you might search for farms. Basically, everything is the same as it was before with the other searches we've been conducting today. You've got your status, right? Same thing applies, just determine what types of farms you're looking for. And I'll be honest, I don't know anything about farms. My wife is from the farm, but I am not. I am from Calgary. So I can just click all these guys here and just see what comes up, right? So I've got a few of these. I'm going to hit that, hit that, hit that. And so it's saying I want this or this or this or this. So it's going to search for those. I can look for style of buildings and so forth, but maybe I just want to look for land only. I can do that by the property offered. I can look for buildings and land, outbuildings and land, or I can do all three. In this case, right now we got 409 matches, but that's province-wide. So I'm going to look for all three. I'm going to hold this button down for control. Boom, boom, boom. It's gone down to 408 matches. And now I want to look around. You could pick any area. So I'm going to look around Borden. I'll just add that. And maybe I'll look around Aberdeen. There's no matches showing up. So again, I'm not familiar with all of the areas where there may be these types of properties. Or I'm going to put in Corman Park and see what comes up there. There we go, 23 matches. There we go. That'll do for the purposes of today. If I go to the results tab, there we go. Okay, and here's your types. Here's your days on markets. It's really simple to conduct those searches. Same thing applies with conducting a search for land. If you want to do lot and land, just go over here. Look for your active and conditional. You can select date ranges for all of these things, all right? When you're looking for land, you can look for recreational usage, yes or no. Right now, there's 1,738 matches. I'm going to click no. I don't want residential or recreational use, so I'm looking for 1717. Do I want just land only? I'll click land only. Okay, I've got 448, and maybe I want to look around Corman Park because it's very quick for me. I've clicked on that. There's 59. Here's the results. There they are, okay? It's just like that. It's that simple to conduct these searches. And again, don't forget, you can customize these fields over here for yourself as well. So we covered most of the searches. Oh, and of course, commercial. If we click commercial, same rules apply. Build yourself a search the exact same way, active and conditional. We can pick as many of these things off as we want. Okay, if the listings are there, it's going to pick them up. There's 1191. Maybe I want to look for Saskatoon because that's where I'm at. There's Saskatoon, 146 matches. And of course, you can drill down for more information. If I hit the results tab, there's my commercial search that is complete. Okay, a few other things. We've only got a couple minutes left. A couple of other things I want to point out as well are the finance tab. There are a boatload of new calculators on the new Matrix system here that you can click on. Should I refinance? Fill in the blanks, right? I mean, there's a whole bunch of different ones that you might want to use. You know, it's entirely up to you. Just make sure you have the right information to with respect to interest rates and terms and so forth. If you're going to use those, feel free, because I think the old Matrix only had like a mortgage calculator, and that was basically it. So there's a lot more stuff in here. Okay, statistics. I'm not going to get into too much on statistics because I don't know a lot about them, but I do encourage everybody, if you're a statistics, want to play with this. And if there are some bugs in the system, do let us know. Send us an email to support@saskmlos.com, and we'll try to address that issue as well. Of course, there's market reports on here, on demand and scheduled. This is where we generate reports. For example, when we're doing our monthly newsletter, The View, and we put out our reports for all the stats in the area. So there's quite a bit of stuff, and of course the roster, which we had as well under the old system. If you're going to be administering that in-house, that's where you're going to do it. You can do the agent quick admin office. It's entirely up to you as to how you're going to choose to utilize these tools. So external links hasn't really changed. We don't have as many external links, but I suspect that will change eventually. And of course, my carts, you can add searches to a cart and park them on the main page. So I think I've covered an overview of the bulk of the things that you need to know as you get into Matrix 7. Once again, I'm going to reiterate to everybody, do familiarize yourself with the frequently asked questions. If you have comments or concerns relating to Matrix, use the feedback form that's on RealtorLink. And of course, we have training videos which are available here as well. I may very well also be posting more meetings next week. We'll just see what the turnout's going to be like possibly, and we'll make that decision. Right now, we want to focus on starting to work on getting more recorded learning videos added to our learning library. Okay, and of course, back in Matrix itself, I'm just going to close some of these tabs off because I don't really need them. Here we go. Back in Matrix itself, again, don't forget to check out the Help tab. There it is, Matrix Training Guide, do download the Matrix Quick Start Guide. It's PDF. It will explain how to do most of the basic functions that you need to get used to with the system. And finally, I will point out one last thing. Also, don't forget about all the tutorials that are here. The tax tab here is not entirely functioning properly. So if you are having some challenges with it, it's because we're still trying to get the new database for taxation property taxes uploaded into the new system. So that's why you may not see things that are on that should be on there. It's not entirely functional yet. So we're working on that, and we're trying to get that done as quickly as possible, because we've had a number of tickets come in through support at saskmls.com regarding that. Okay, folks, that is essentially the last live webinar I'm doing for a little bit, unless we decide to do some next week with Matrix 7. If you have any questions at all, do send an email to support@saskmls.com. This will generate a ticket, and we promise to respond to your challenge as quickly as it comes in. I have recorded this session, and I expect I'll try to get it uploaded onto the system at some point today. I'm acting also in the capacity of providing Matrix support. We've got 3 people in the office here doing Matrix support province-wide, and over the last 3 or 4 days, we've had we're averaging about 70, 75 support requests per day. So we're getting a heck of a lot of support requests, which is understandable. And that's why I'm trying to direct everybody to the learning modules and the Matrix how-to guide, so you can start to help solve some of the challenges for yourself. So that's my session for today. I hope that everybody has a fantastic weekend, and keep watching Matrix. We're going to be addressing any changes. We'll pop anything that you need to know up in the news and alert section, okay? Again, my name is Sean Cummings. I'm the Director of Education here at Saskatoon Region Association of Realtors. You have yourself a very good Friday. Thanks for watching.